Just a quickie here today. Um, I am exhausted. We had a great week at the beach. I'm recovering, but I'm happy to say that the medication that I am on for my ulcerative colitis is doing wonderful. I've, 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 I'm not in a flare, and I'm having a really good week. Just a really good week. I was able to do my yoga class on Tuesday morning and get a lot done here on Monday around the house, and then I had a new to me friend invite me and um, her longer friend, Julie, who's also my friend, out to lunch at the new Orpheum here in Oxford. And I think it's called Cafe O. But that was very nice getting to know somebody new, and we were able to talk about the Lord and talk about all good things. And it was just a wonderful day. It was just a wonderful time. And so uh, today I took my friend Christy out for the first, it's the first time in 6 months she has been able to go out shopping. She was in a situation where she was living with her son, if you watch my past videos, and it really was a case of elder abuse, and she escaped the home and ran out of there asking a neighbor for help, and the neighbor did help her and called the police and called the ambulance, and they took her in and they found her spot in a nursing home. And so she spent an hour and a half at our very small Dollar Tree. I was so happy for her. And the debit card her son had given her did not work, but my friend Edwina covered it for her, and she was able to just get some little trinkets for her room and some necessities that she needed, and some just snacks that she really, really used to like, and some puzzles that she could do. And um, we also went to lunch, and that was very, very nice. And she had such a great time. And it was a joy seeing her have a good time. And um, don't be afraid to, if you think some elderly person is being abused, do not hesitate to report that. We knew that she was having a difficult time, but we weren't sure how to go about things. And she took the matters into her own hands, and she's very happy where she is now. She has a wonderful roommate, Miss Edna, although she calls her Miss Ruby, but that's okay. Um, and we've come to know, my friend Edwina and I have come to know the other people at the nursing home and bring them little treats, and it's just such a blessing to put a smile on somebody's face who's in one of the nursing homes that tends to be more of the indigent nursing homes. And so it's just a blessing. It is really a blessing. But anyhow, one of the reasons why I wanted to come in here today is that I finished, well, first of all, on my 65 and 65, going to the beach with Josh, Jen, and the kids was on my list. And so I got to cross that off. That was wonderful. The next thing is that Chris and I finished an audio book on the way to the beach and the way home from the beach called The Bedford Boys. And that's just a really, we have been to the Bedford Memorial, which is in Bedford, Virginia. And they have recreated a National D-Day memorial because the boys of Bedford were simply people who had, or young men who had volunteered for the National Guard for the extra money. They were just farm boys, common city boys, in small town city boys, not just big city boys. They were small town, very close community. And I believe they lost, let me see if I can see how many. I think they lost on the first wave of, they were in Company A, which was the first wave on Normandy, and they lost something like 19, maybe. Yeah, 19 men were killed during the first day of the invasion within hours of landing. 4 more died during the rest of the Normandy campaign. The town and the Bedford Boys proportionally suffered the greatest losses of any American town during the campaign, thus inspiring the United States Congress to establish the D-Day Memorial in Bedford. And it's a really awesome, sombering memorial. We have been 2 or 3 times. You can actually, they have statues that actually show how the poor boys had to crawl up this rocky mountain slope to where they needed to take the beach, and there were German snipers that would just pick them off, just right and left, right and left. Some of them didn't even make it on shore because of the snipers. There were twin boys. There was one woman, I believe, that lost 4 sons in that invasion, 4 young boys. The Bedford Boys is by Alex Kershaw, and it was what inspired the movie Saving Private Ryan. And Steven Spielberg, who produced that movie, was the largest contributor to the theater that they have at the Normandy, or the National D-Day Memorial there in Bedford, Virginia. So if you're ever looking for a place to go, if you love history, I recommend the book. I recommend going to the place. Like I said, we've been there a couple times before, and it's just positively awesome. It's one of those very somber places where you're not so, no one laughs. I mean, it's very solemn, but it's also such a great reminder of the sacrifices that people gave during World War II, to make sure that people were just safe, and that we had these freedoms, and that there were people who were released from concentration camps, and countries became free again. And yeah, God bless those Bedford boys. And the surviving people. It also tells the story of the surviving people. So anyhow, The Bedford Boys by Alex Kershaw. We highly recommend. If you're ever in Virginia, we highly recommend going to go see the National D-Day Museum. Well worth it. Very humbling. They also have memorials for all the units: Purple Heart, Army, Navy, whatever. I mean, it's just a wonderful tribute to our American soldiers, and especially those 19 who died on the first day of the Normandy invasion. Now, on a personal note, I have had an uncle. Uncle Edwin passed away, Edwin Love, and he was also in the Normandy invasion, and he would show us the bullet scars where he had like 6 bullet holes across his torso. Fortunately, he lived to tell the story. He lived up into his 90s, and he was a wonderful, wonderful example of a man and what he had given for his country. So anyhow, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Go check those things out. Expand your brain. And I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.